So, when last we met, the Shadow Slayers were continuing their exploration of Whitehearth, delving deeper into the secret Cannith facility. The strangeness thus far discovered has left the party in both a state of extreme wariness mixed with an overfull helping of so done with this crap. Having lost what feels like 5 days worth of time has also left them in a panic as the progression of the siege of Lyrenton was already well underway. Anxious to find the schema and get out, the party stumbled into the cell block of Whitehearth, where they encountered the wardens of the prison and put them down a couple of times. After some quick reconnaissance, the party managed to find some items stashed in the bed space of the wardens, including more key charms to move around the facility. They also managed to get the cell of one of the prisoners open before Rix found himself unconscious and in a forceful stream of aberrant magic that seemed to be pulling him towards the figure in the central cell. A struggle ensued that required the whole party trying to get Rix out. Upon his successful extraction, the party abandoned the cell block and relocked the doors. And that's where we're going to start today. Shadow Slayers, what are you going to do now?
Try to wake up Rix?
Oh,
He's
Rick's
awake.
awake. He's awake. He
Okay.
he managed to throw some Eldritch blasts at it.
Okay,
Is
that's
Kiz
right.
conscious? Wasn't Kiz?
Oh, Kiz is the one unconscious.
Yeah.
Oh. I remember that.
Yeah.
She's gonna go to
She
Rick's.
Nobly and heroically dived for the guy
Rix,
in
who
the
has
cell.
Rix has only a third of his health left. It's like
Rick's is gonna hug him.
oh, Rix is gonna hug her back.
Z is gonna say, "Can we just not go back in there, please? Please."
You don't have to tell me that twice.
So what was all that?
What do you mean?
Honestly,
I
have
mean,
no
you're
idea.
unconscious.
The fog emanating from the full-bodied
The
aberrant
what?
dragon mark person, like
Oh,
Your guess is about as good as mine.
Z would
None of
tell
that seems
them
important.
what she figured out about, like what she knew about the full body dragon mark thing, how rare that is, how powerful those people are. That thing that you said last week that I don't remember exactly, other than rare and powerful. I don't remember what they were called.
Sippers.
You'd heard about it used in true dragon marks. They tend to stand out as they're called marks of Sybaris, which also relates to, you know, the history of the world and the golden ring that surrounds the planet of Eberron, that where the Sybaris golden shards come from. You hadn't actually heard of an aberrant dragon mark like this, but having heard of the other ones, it's only makes sense that somewhere on the opposite side of the spectrum, something like this might exist.
So Z would explain what she knows. And then be like, and obviously, it's a prison. So what are we going to do with Dwarf Man here? We waking him up?
oh, yeah, I totally forgot about him.
It
You
could be
mean
like
By the way, are you?
Ranger, we've dragged out here? Yeah, no, let's not totally forget about him. Let's do something. Are we waking him up?
Hold on.
we should tie him
Are
up.
you okay?
I'm sorry. I'm bleeding profusely. My apologies for forgetting about him.
Rix,
No,
are you
you-
okay?
You did hear him say he's bleeding profusely, right?
It hurts, but I'm alive, and I kind of wish I was where I was before.
Z would look through her bag for one of the sparkly health potions.
So, was there like a reason you decided to dive face first into that fog?
No, there was no reason other than me trying to prevent the skull from launching out of my hands.
Yeah, that didn't really go well.
No, it didn't. But
Also, is Kiz fine?
yes, I think Dwarf Man should take less precedence than our unconscious friend.
I don't
Z would-
remember. Why am I unconscious?
She has the most medical training that I'm aware of, and I don't think I should be the one to look into this.
Fine. Someone else tie him up, and I'll see if I can wake Kiz.
Z would have handed Rix the healing potion with the sparklies in it. Would he take it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ow. I drank the potion.
I know I had one, but I don't see it in my inventory.
It's because you drank it.
Drank it.
Oh, do I have any others?
I have
Not
one.
that I was aware of.
Oh.
I will double check, but I think I have one left. But there was only one left in the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Either I have it or
if it's only one left, Rix wouldn't take it.
I have 3
I've got one
vials of
left.
pink liquid.
Well, if we get Kiz back up, she has healing magic.
Healing magic doesn't work here.
It doesn't work here.
What do you mean it doesn't work here?
Welcome to
I
the
mean, it doesn't work here.
No, it's not working. We've tried several times.
Can you please just take what we say at face value?
Just give him a moment, would you?
Every time we try to explain why, you get pain.
Every time you try to explain why you can't cast healing magic?
Every time we talk about what's brought us here, we hurt you. We don't want to do that.
Can I
I
try?
feel like that's debatable.
Can I please try?
Guys, I
Sure,
don't
go for
remember
it.
why I'm unconscious.
You tried to go for the guy in the cell, and you failed your wisdom saving throw.
Okay, so it was the spell of the cage.
cell. The cage, yeah.
Okay.
Not the purple goo.
I was like, if I was supposed to have 0 hit points, I forgot to update that everywhere.
Oh no. Rix
Okay.
just goes like, Bruce, we're in the Mournland, and in the Mournland, magic doesn't necessarily work the way that we hope it would. And we've quickly discovered that the only time we were able to heal, weird things happened. And then when we tried to heal away from that area, it just didn't work. And we've tried a couple times in here already, and it hasn't worked. The only thing that has worked has been weird potions of healing, I think, that have some specs in it.
they were probably here when the morning happened.
Does he know what the morning is?
He should
Yeah.
know what the morning is. It didn't happen like just yesterday, Cherry. Come on.
There's a lot we don't understand.
I know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
It-
I
The
think
morning
it's pretty
was 20
true.
years ago, not 6 years
yeah.
ago. So,
Okay. The morning happened when my parents died. I didn't
Kiz
say
says
that out
in
loud.
sleep.
Mom, Dad, when are you coming home?
Wow.
That's how we know she's fine.
All right, with my medicine check, can I revive her, or am I just slapping her in the face with no avail?
Oh my gosh.
You seem to be at this point kind of like shaking her by the shoulders, kind of tapping her on the face like, come on, Kiz, wake up.
I
Wake
could've
up.
done that.
But
Yeah,
you seem to have, you seem to not be activating the consciousness receptors of Kizriel's brain at this time.
All right,
But you feel like you're right there. Like if you could just, if you just,
Leah, you might
her
want
little
to do
Can I
this.
lean down like an
Maybe.
inch away and just be like, wake up!
can you roll me an intimidation check?
Oh, please roll high.
On an unconscious mind.
Oh, please
I
no.
just- I
Backfire
would
that
like to see
he's
if
on top
Clara
of.
could roll a medicine check. That was just me. What would Clara's
Leah?
medicine be? What
Intimidation.
animals do? They lick you.
13.
Wonderful.
13. That is enough to scare Kiz awake.
Ah!
Like, Kiz, you wake up to Bruce's face shouting in your face.
What did I do?
What? Okay, so I guess I should be in charge of waking people up from now on.
You were unconscious. You're fine. It was him trying to wake you up, and apparently that worked better than what I was
Be
trying.
to wake her up.
And are we out of the dark mist? Are we out? Are we from the dogs?
I love you.
No,
Bruce.
we're away from them. Everything's okay. I got the
Okay.
dwarf that you were trying to save.
Oh yeah.
Did anyone tie him up?
Oh,
I thought
shit.
you said you were going to do that.
I don't have.
Then I was told to wake up.
All right, well, I can do it.
Sorry.
I'm not
Here we are.
overly
I've got
concerned
some
with him running away.
Hey,
We-
Cherry, can I have some rope?
We found his arm and conceivably his keys, so I don't think he's going far.
There is a
You're
rope
welcome.
actually tied around him already right now.
He's got 2 legs. He can still run.
Sorry, what were you saying, Harissa?
My rope was already out.
Okay,
Although,
if there was
you
some rope
use
out,
the
Z
little
would be like, "Do you mind?" and grab the rope.
Rix
And
might still
tie
have
some not
attached.
very good knots around the guy.
I
mean-
untied it, I think. Did I untie it? I think I said I was untying it.
Yeah,
Last time I think I said I untied it off my foot because my foot hurt.
I used a rope to drag him out of there.
Yeah, she did.
There is a rope already around him.
Okay.
2 kids, so I guess healing magic doesn't work, so I
Yeah.
guess you can't really do a lot with that.
Sorry. Has to do with being in the Mournland.
Lord,
What would
imagine
it take?
I mean, we could ask Bruce to wake him up. He did a really good job with Kiz.
Might as well.
I would just kick him.
In a hallway. Exposed.
I mean, we could go somewhere
Roll me an
safer because
attack.
I think we need to
Is
rest.
Bruce being asked to do this? Because otherwise...
Bruce is not being asked to do this yet.
Yet. I love the yet.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Depends on who stops him from getting asked.
You
Rex
guys,
is gonna go
did you
ahead
guys
and
hear Cherry's request? Okay.
Oh, no, Cherry, what'd you say?
She's used to it. Can we get out of this hallway? Someplace secure.
Okay. There's like a secret thing at the end of the hallway, though.
Well, there's also a door right here. Do we want to check out a new door?
Maybe
No.
we shouldn't do that.
Rix looks awful.
For the sake that the last door I opened and walked into.
Do we
Let's
feel like
not.
the junction points are kind of the safest places here?
Honestly,
I mean, if we take out the keys, yeah, I think they're.
I think
Okay.
there was a bed in one of them.
Mm-hmm.
the
Then
thing
let's go
about the
back to the last junction room.
How is that?
As long as somebody else with the key doesn't show up, we should be fine.
I mean,
We'll just
we
close
are
the
right by
door.
this door. Do you think we should just open it and look real quick? And if it's scary, we can close it?
That's
Back
what
away
Rex
from
tried
that
to
door.
do.
No, I didn't. I just walked right in. That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone should peek inside. Not me, though, please.
I don't have any.
Why don't we take care of Dwarf Man? Maybe he knows
Took
what's
all
in
of
there, and then figure it out. Like we can
Also,
always
I
come
found
back
a lot of
in.
stuff back there. Where did most of that go?
I dumped
think
it in
your
my
pocket.
bag.
You gave me a big handful of stuff.
You gave Julia some, and I dumped the other handful that you had in my bag.
Oh, I want to know what that stuff is.
Yeah, we should do that once we find a safe place to relax.
I'm gonna just start heading towards the junction.
Bruce is gonna go over to this door and put his ear against it.
Roll me a perception check.
Perception. Where's my perception? Woo! 14?
14. Kind of put your head upside next to the door. And as you kind of do that, you sit there, you quiet, you calm your breathing. You listen. You listen.
Breathe quieter, Rix.
You do hear in your ear, like pressed up with your ear pressed up against the door, you do hear a slight humming sound.
It's gonna try to match the tone. I hear like a humming sound.
Maybe it's where the machines are.
What machines?
The ones
I
that
don't
were-
know. Kenneth machines? That's my best guess.
If you-
Hmm?
If we want to try opening the door, we can, but we shouldn't walk into it this time.
I did. I do not feel like it is the best idea to try and open this door just yet. Especially since people are already leaving.
Well, we got backup, and he's going to point at the unconscious dwarf.
Oh, that's a good point, Cora. Can you help me carry the door?
I was wondering, I'll try and pick him up.
I'm gonna try to throw him on top of Cora and half help carry him. If it goes terribly, we'll drag him.
Just roll me a strength check for Gora. Should be a piece of cake.
Plop.
It's questionable for a second. It's questionable for a second. But remind me again what Gora's strength is.
It is +2, so it's a 14.
14. She manages to help you get him, and you guys drag him out.
She just grabs him by the cuff of the back of his shirt. Just go back.
King! They're bigger than her. I figured out a weight at one point.
Nyx is gonna go ahead and change.
You and Gora drag him where?
Just towards the junction.
So I'll move
Where's
him
the
down
name and
Okay.
So they were
Bruce is alone in the hallway with the two changelings.
That's a great combination for trouble.
Nyx is gonna go ahead and
Bruce,
change
you find yourself, still in the hallway with the two changelings. And that humming, now that you've taken your head off the door, you still kind of very faintly hear it. For another standing there looking at them, you kind of hear it, and after about 30 seconds or so, it just kind of fades and goes away.
Put his ear back to the door.
After a few more seconds of holding your ear up, listening very intently, you're able to kind of hear the humming again.
Seems like it's starting and stopping.
No, it seems like putting your ear up to the door, it seems like it's kind of something that's there residually. It's a bass hum. Just whenever you pull your ear away from the door, you kind of lose track of it. It stays with you, it lingers, and then just fades away.
There's a humming.
What sort of humming is it? I mean, is it mechanical? Is it biological?
I don't know. Does he have any answer to that?
It's humming. I don't know, roll me an Arcana check. Roll me a Constitution.
Hey.
Well, no, that works. We'll go with that one.
19.
19. You kind of think about it. You think into it, and you recall that when you were, oh hey, that's magic, in the other room where your vision kind of lit up and you were able to see it. Having pressed your ear against it, it sounds like you don't know why, but it sounds like it's magic.
Sounds like magic.
We should probably make sure that if we're going to do this, we have Zanim here. Zanim and Cherry. They're probably the most knowledgeable of magic.
Because she was incredibly useful in the last room.
Well, I mean, we're not asking her to attack the door, are we?
All right, we can go.
Are we? Are we? Rex is looking at her. We're not attacking the door, are we? Are we?
Meanwhile, in the junction room, Jalira, Zanim, you see Kizrael and Guara kind of dragging the dwarf into the room, getting him in there with you guys. Is there anything you guys are talking about in there?
I'm not feeling chatty.
Yeah, Z's not particularly either.
Do you want to look at that stuff you grabbed?
There's a lot of stuff that needs looking at.
I mean, I guess if we're gonna bed down for a while, you guys could do some identifying if you want.
Z would go over to the dwarf and attempt to wake him up. We rescued him,
Okay.
so let's poke the guy.
Roll me a medicine check.
Hey, I've got better in medicine than I thought I did. Cool.
His intelligence.
Slightly better.
Wisdom.
You've learned from watching.
Watching Grey's Anatomy.
You don't slap him in the face,
Tarascus.
and you don't yell at him, but you try and gently wake him up. You kind of check him over. He does seem to be breathing, but he does not seem to be responding to you trying to wake him up.
He may have been under that spell for a long time.
Would an Arcana check help Z figure out any way to wake him up? Like her knowledge of magic? What was going on back there?
Roll me an Arcana check.
I mean, she is an enchantress.
Is indeed. Boom.
Not having had a chance to really examine the spell work that was in the cells, you're not entirely sure what was done and whatever it was, how it functions at this time.
That's a good roll, though.
Oh, that's a high DC, though.
I mean, it's designed to keep him in stasis, and that's probably been in
Do you
stasis.
have any other ideas on how to wake somebody who's in a magically induced coma?
Not right now, no.
Well, maybe he needs to be away from those runes for a while.
How about after an 8-hour rest? She kind of pats him and like sticks him in a corner, make him look comfortable. Except she's not going to give him a pillow or anything. Oh, she'll take her. Are we bedding down?
I didn't think so. I thought we were just coming here to like try to wake up the dwarf and talk about things away from the room of possible death.
Okay, never mind. I think we need to rest with Rick's being really beat and Julia being out of spells. That's all.
Well, I mean, none of us have eaten in 5 days either.
You got rations.
Didn't
Yeah,
Kids
kids
don't
made
make-
sure
or no,
everyone
did
got.
I was gonna say, did kids give everybody a good berry, or am I like thinking that's what she should have done and she didn't because she didn't have spells?
I thought I cast some good berries before, but
But we didn't
I
have
remember
good berries.
good berries at the beginning of White Hearth, but that's the last time I remember them.
Yeah.
And
No,
yeah, those things
we got
those things
rations.
only last for 24 hours, right?
oh, if I cast it before, then they
They
were
lose,
gone.
they lose potency after 24 hours.
I don't remember. I thought maybe I cast. No, I wouldn't have.
But
I don't remember.
you made sure everyone got rations from the bag.
I think I remember you saying you were hungry, and I thought you fed people something. I just wasn't sure if it was good berries or regular rations.
I think it was probably regular rations.
Okay.
Just as we realized that we had woken up after 5 days.
Okay. Do you guys do your best to kind of compose the prisoner in the corner? Which corner do you compose him in? Just out of curiosity, like where do you put him?
There's no corner.
So which
Yeah, it looks
wall
like
do
there's
you
a-
stick him on?
Beautiful.
It's kind of crucial which wall you stick him on, guys.
This one right here.
Not life or death,
where
but you
not
know.
blocking where anybody else would come join us.
Well, that's true. If we go put him here, he won't be up against a door. Oh no, he won't be up against a door here either. And that's not far to drag him.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him up against a door. And I wouldn't want him to be somewhere where he's blocking the others who I hope are joining us soon. I'm starting to like tap my foot in impatience, like where the frick are they?
Okay, that sounds like a good time to pop back over to the other group.
Well, seeing as though they don't seem really to be on board with opening the door and getting increasingly uncomfortable being with the two changelings, Bruce is gonna be like, alright, fine, we can go back. Bruce has avoided looking at them the whole time.
I noticed.
Rix has a passive perception of 17. Unless Bruce is trying to hide it, he's gonna have to roll a deception check in order for Rix not to notice, I think.
My passive insight is 15.
Same as Bruce's passive deception. What do you think, Mike?
If you want to roll for it, you can try and roll for it. But, I mean, just kind of like...
Do it.
Trying not to...
Yeah,
no.
8. That seems appropriate. Like, at first, he was probably playing it cool by, like, listening to the door and keeping his attention focused in one direction. But as this has kept going on, it's becoming increasingly clear that he's doing his best to not, like his excuses for staying in that direction are running thin.
Hey, Bruce,
which is about the point where he's like, you know, I think you're right. Let's just go with the other.
Yeah, Bruce, why don't you take the lead?
He's gonna like walk down the hallway. As he gets to here, he's gonna point with his axe and just be like, "Yeah, there's something over there," and then he's gonna head over.
Rix is just kind of standing next to Nix, and he goes, "Well, step one again, huh?"
I'm sorry for blowing up that Jewish.
I'm sorry for being an idiot. You can learn from that. Mine will take a little longer, I think. Generally walking over.
She's like, I'm going to be probably more angry than ever, and I'm gonna end up probably taking it out on you. You're the most important person to me, and I'm sorry about that.
It's expected, but try not to downplay it so much. It's okay to admit that maybe we're all a little in over our heads. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference to them. It might be a little refreshing for them to see us unput together, so to speak.
I'm trying.
It's alright. It's okay. We'll figure this out somehow. You know, I know that I don't even know what almost happened to me, but I was on this really soft feather bed, and the sun was shining, and it was a beautiful day in Sean. I know most people don't see Sean as having beautiful days, but it was a beautiful day.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I know it's hard, but it's an illusion. It's not really.
Yeah.
Sorry. Probably not helping.
No, it's fine. I mean, last thing I should want is to be in that sort of state, and while the rest of you are nearly pulling my foot out of my body.
That thing did not want to let you go.
No, it didn't. Neither did that dog. That really hurt.
I missed most of it. I passed out trying to get to you.
Oh, it's okay. I think this place has that effect on all of us. At least it wasn't 5 days this time, right?
Yeah, I hope. I don't. It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been. They were still there.
Remind me again which form you're in, Nix.
I was trying to say earlier, she was in her original form, but earlier when they were by the door, she was gonna try and change into her elf form.
Okay.
And she is gonna ask Rix which mark is on her face.
Okay.
Which mark is on
Rix?
her face?
You don't see a mark on her face.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there. He's like getting closer to her and like reaches up to like touch her face and like grab at her face and look closely at it.
Like,
It's gone?
All right,
Roll
everybody.
me a d4.
Are
All
we
of
going
us?
at each other?
No, just
no.
Nyx. I wanted her to roll that. Rix, as you reach up there, you poke, you touch, kind of start to examine. You take 3 points of psychic damage.
Oh no!
As a scream rips through your head. A scream of absolute terror and fear.
Okay, Rick's like recoils
At least I'm there.
immediately and is like grabs at his head and it's like,
Are they right there, by the way, as this is happening?
yeah,
Are they, like,
yeah, we're
20
right,
feet away?
we're right here, like we're getting closer, and then you see him like stop and be like, it's not there, and then you see him going, ah, like, oh,
Oh my God.
ow,
What happened?
ow, I don't, hold on a moment.
She is stepping back.
Oh, that hurt a lot.
Oh.
Ah.
Kids, you're good with this stuff. Kind of like pushing her forward a little bit.
Her mark is gone.
How does that make me good at this stuff? The marks were these things.
You're good at
But
healing.
touching her, something. Was it touching her that caused it? Something might still be there.
No, I don't know.
If you're just talking about field aid, I would suggest ice for a headache.
Yeah, there you go.
Do we have ice?
We've got a cold stone floor. She tries to gently get you to lay down and take it easy.
I have an antitoxin potion.
Why don't you
Do you have a
use
potion?
one of your cure wound? Oh, never mind.
Rix is just gonna go over here and like lie down with his head on the floor.
So Z would take a quick look at Rix, figure out that at this point it was medical and there was nothing she could do, and then she would go check out Nyx.
Who backed up and is kind of just backed up down the hallway and is kind of like holding herself like, oh crap, I'm doing something else.
Bruce, not sure what to do and how to help, just reaches down and touches Kiz, and she's gonna use bolster magic. She can regain a second or first level spell slot.
Did Z see
Thank you.
Nyx tapping into some of Bruce's Mark's powers?
You said it was the second level spell slot?
No, I do not believe you saw
Second
that.
or first, your choice.
I mean,
Okay.
Second.
The only person who noticed was Guara.
No, Kiz
Okay.
and Bruce.
Kiz and Guara. Bruce saw her momentarily change into a half-orc with a he would admit to himself, a fine backside.
I mean, Bruce the Elder would not be ashamed to say that he would find himself attractive, yeah. But Bruce now is not sure who that pink-haired, muscly orc man was.
He hasn't seen himself in a mirror, has he?
So
I'm gonna look at Bruce and just be like, I'm confused about how he did that. Where did you learn to do that?
Learn how to do what?
Like, it feels like you gave me some magic back.
Bruce looks a little confused himself.
You know what? Let's not worry about it for now until we figure out how to talk to you about what's happened without
He
hurting
like
you.
looks down at his hand.
I don't think I could try casting a spell. I don't think it'll do anything.
I figured you were better. I don't know.
So Z would examine Nyx's face without like touching her, cause that hurt Rex.
She's kind of just sitting on the floor with her knees and her face covered.
Z would talk really nicely to her. You know, I want to help figure out what's going on here. I want to figure out what we can do for you. Can I look at you without touching you? And maybe do detect dragon mark and see if I can figure out something from that.
Does that sound
have
like a
detect-
plan?
You should be careful. I don't know if it would hurt you. I don't know
I'll
what's
be
going
fine.
on.
I'll be fine. Detect Dragon Mark is a
Ritual, isn't it?
it's a ritual, yeah. Okay. So Z would start by examining her face. Would she see anything there other than, hey, look, no dragon mark?
To your eyesight, it does not appear to be a dragon mark on her face.
Okay. Has anybody other than Rix touched Nyx?
I hugged him earlier and nothing happened.
Okay. All right, let's take this real slow. Can you take my hand and come into the other room? The ritual's going to take about 10 minutes. So I'd rather do that somewhere closed off as opposed to with, bad guys down in a prison behind us. Does that sound like a plan?
It's like we can't shut the doors exactly, but yeah, we should probably move in there. I think everyone
Rix goes, you could open the other junction.
like I probably shouldn't touch anyone until we figure this out. I don't want to touch anyone again.
Z would take your hand. Would anything happen when Z took Nyx's hand and guided her into the other room?
No.
Okay. So, you are very gently guided into the other room. Z sits you down along a wall, not in front of a door. Probably
Bruce has moved over to a wall and is sitting down, like looking at his hand, like very confused.
Opposite of Dwarf Man, so that there's no, we don't know anything about him and what's going on, so he doesn't need to be privy to any of this stuff. And then she's going to cast the Detect Dragon Mark ritual.
Okay. That's going to take you 10 or 11 minutes, something like that. Bruce, as you look down at your hand, you have a memory flash through your head. A very excited conversation with Odiana, as she's very interested in learning how you gained the ability to restore magic to others. She's super excited by it. She can't wait to be able to cast more spells just because she's hanging out with you and you're so awesome. She's super excited, bouncing up and down, super excited.
Is it that same sensation as last time where it was like a menthol burning instead of
kind of a cooling menthol burn?
And Bruce is just kind of sitting over there just like, okay.
Nyx is gonna go ahead and drop her form. Is there something there now?
Rix. About that moment,
yes,
you feel.
Oh no.
You kind of look up to the group. You look at Jalira, who's kind of standing next to you, and for the barest moment, you forget her name.
I'm just gonna look at her, blinking a few times.
I had an idea for your head. I know sometimes they were kids insisted I give these to you, and maybe they might help with the headache. And she's gonna hand the night vision goggles we just found to Rix.
Do I not remember her name or not remember her?
You don't remember her name, who she is, and then she hands you the goggles, and all of a sudden it snaps back into your head. Jalira, it's Jalira.
So it's like a moment of oh. Complete disassociation from who she is, and then it springs back on you. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I'd help.
What do these do?
Oh, night vision goggles. I don't know if the balance in light would help.
No, I mean it's worth a try. Okay. So he's gonna put it over his head and start to fiddle with the goggles a bit.
Okay.
Pulls back the thing so his new hair is exposed, and starts kind of bringing it over his head to mess with it.
Okay.
Your hair is very pretty right now.
Oh, thanks. Nyx helped me with it. Figured I'd try something new, I guess.
And as you put them on, you find yourself a proud owner of Goggles of Night.
Nice! What do I see? Everything
has that... It's all monochromatic. It's all grays and hints of grays. Color is not really there unless, like, closer to the pedestal you get, the more natural light comes up, and you're able to tell that there's color there, and you kind of tweak the goggles, you can see the color. But with the goggles on, everything kind of has this gray filter, but you're able to see farther.
Right. And these don't require attunement, right?
Correct.
Oh, nice. I already have too many things attuned. All right.
Must be nice.
Are you adding it to my inventory, or do I add it?
Go ahead and add yourself a pair of Goggles of Night.
Okay, thank you. Rex just goes, "Is this what you see all the time?" Like, kind of stands up, and he's like, "The room, I think, this room is not well lit, right? It's the hallway that's well lit, right?"
Yeah, this room is very dully lit. It's the only light comes from the pedestal, but right now Jalira's got her lamp out, so it's pretty bright.
Okay. So he takes it off. He's like, "Oh, thank you, Cherry. This is gonna be really useful. Thank you." And he reaches over and he gives her a hug.
Bruce found him, but it makes sense. Either you or Kiz, since Nyx can just pop herself.
Well, maybe we could share
I have
it.
Can modify them into monocles of night vision.
I have a gem of brightness.
I love that monocle. Thanks, sir.
Take after our adopted father.
Cherry, roll me an Arcana check.
We have some Warforged ones you could splice.
Actually, Tongs might still have my Warforged ones.
I have two more.
Yeah, it's okay.
As you're like as that suggestion kind of echoes through, you're like, yeah, no, you could break that apart and still maintain the enchantment. I mean, it might be harder to see through one eye. Like there might be some disadvantages for just having one eye that can see in the dark. However, it would let you see in the dark.
I mean, I heard a rumor once that some pirates don't actually lose their eyes a lot, that the eye patch is so that one eye is always adjusted to the dark, so if you go up deck and below deck, you can switch it on and off. I'll have to ask Bruce if there's any truth to that.
That's a little jarring, isn't it?
I don't think so, but it might be worth trying.
I mean, can I...
Bruce, at the mention of pirates, there's this moment of it's not deeply, it doesn't hurt as much, but there's a little bit of pain. A little bit of searing pain when Jalira mentions pirates and Bruce asking Bruce about pirates. Like it comes on that tail end of that really refreshing kind of cool feeling, and then just pirates comes up and you're just like, eh.
Bruce kind of like pounds the ground next to him a couple times, just.
That's right. Kiz does have.
Oh yeah, you definitely noticed that.
I mean, I also have light.
Yeah, just sometimes gem of brightness may not be the best thing for, but the one with the sneaky sneak.
You could be a sneak too, though.
Oh, I'm a rogue. You're the rogue.
Okay.
Okay.
Does
So-
Rex notice this?
You've with a passive perception of 17, yeah, you kind of notice Bruce kind of pound the ground a little bit,
And he's like, careful, Cherry, I think. He kind of nods in Bruce's direction. You didn't know.
Bruce noticed that.
what's Bruce's passive perception?
12.
You weren't making any attempts to kind of hide it, so you kind of notice. Like
He's kind of whispering it to Jalira.
We were probably looking at him as we talk about that. Like,
Do you want me to roll
what's
a
your
perception check?
What's your passive deception?
Mine? What?
Yeah.
How would I calculate that?
+10?
You're,
And
10 plus your bonuses.
Bonus.
I'm not going to brag, but I have a passive acrobatics of 16.
So because I have a proficiency in deception,
That's
I
gonna
would include
brag.
that. So it'd be a 16.
If you'd like to roll a perception check to see, like, if you specifically take the time out to like look around you in an almost paranoid fashion, I'll let you make that decision. But otherwise, with her passive, Cherry, what's your passive deception?
Yeah,
11.
he might, after that, he might glance around really quick.
Okay.
So, you want me to do it at disadvantage, or?
No, just go ahead and straight roll it.
Oh, he meets it just perfect.
He just meets it perfect. Like, it's almost it's like Cherry's kind of like Rix is all like super smooth and cool about it, but Cherry's all like looking at you and looking at Rix and looking at you and looking down and looking at Rix and looking down.
Guilty as she does it.
It draws your attention, so you definitely get the feeling that they're talking about you over on that side of the room.
I like to think that Cherry wears her emotions on her face and is probably looking. She probably looks like really guilty.
I'm going to find that guilty-looking chick punk picture again.
And half the room's talking about him, and Z is currently distracted. Bruce is gonna pull out the needle again and try to distract himself by studying the tattoo. He's just kind of sitting there, like, you know, his knees up. He kind of puts the paper against his knees, and he's kind of looking at it.
You don't have the
figure out
paper.
what it is.
No, you don't have the paper
You
anymore.
go digging through your stuff, and you don't seem to find. You have the
I
needle.
thought the paper and the needle took one of them, and then Nick took the other.
I stole
Nick
it from your hand.
Nick
I know,
sleight
you-
of handed it out of your hand.
No,
I thought
I
she-
remember there being one. She took one of them. We don't know which one she took though.
Yeah, she took
Oh,
one
no.
set, and I
One
thought
needle.
I
Okay,
still
gotcha.
had
Was
the
it one
other
set?
set.
Okay.
I could be. I want to double check, but I know she sleight of handed something away. I thought she took the whole second set, the paper and the needle, and
Well,
Bruce.
She was aiming for the but I don't know. I thought that she took both papers and the needle, but I could be wrong. That is up to the DM.
You're gonna make me go review the video really quick on this.
Well, she
Make
got
a
a.
call, Mike.
Don't worry. We
New
could say
cannon, go.
New cannon. This is even better. You start to study the paper. The paper you have is. Let me pull up my notes.
Because he definitely has one of the needles.
Yes.
That's what it was. She took one of the needles. We don't know which one she took, but she got the papers.
He probably. So he's probably gonna pull out the one, and then he's gonna look for the second one, realize he doesn't have it, at which point he's gonna glare at Zanim because he assumes he dropped it in the room. He
That's fair,
assumes
I
that
like
in the
it.
Fight, in the fight, he dropped it, so he's kind of like, son of a. I guess I got one. And then if he has the paper, he's gonna study the paper and the needle. If not, he's just gonna study the needle and again kind of hold it up to his skin to see, because Bruce's idea is that this might be able to magically tattoo something on somebody. So he would think he'd need the paper to kind of give it something to guide by, but if not, he's just gonna hold it and see what it does.
Okay. How long do you sit there and hold it for?
As long as he is not interrupted, because he's trying to distract himself from the fact that people are talking about him. And searing pain keeps going through his head.
Fair enough. Okay, well, you're gonna have to hold it there for at least an hour.
Okay.
Before
does he
anything,
notice
like-
anything happening?
Like as he kind of holds it there, he like does he insert it into? Does he like prick his skin with it?
I think he'd be playing around with it. He'd be trying to.
Just kind of looking at it, rolling at it.
He kind of like hold it close to his skin to see if it like starts tattooing or something, and then I don't know. He might have to. That's why he wants the paper so he can try to imitate the magical tattoo, because he assumes he needs to follow its direction. And if it didn't do it, he would keep trying various things for the next 10 minutes to see if it does anything.
Okay.
You know, trying to figure out how it works more or less, or if he's got the wrong idea or what.
Where is? Did I put it here?
Man, Bruce left to his own devices. Coming, gonna come out of here with a tattoo.
That's not
Well, he's already got a lot of tattoos. He just doesn't know where they came from.
That's where some of them came from.
Because he's doing a ritual and Julia doesn't know what to do with herself, she's going to start doing the alarm ritual, which she'll just do around the perimeter of the circle.
Okay. How big does that get?
You know,
Is it by 15 by 15 or something?
20-foot cube.
Ooh, there it is.
That's smaller.
Okay. So the paper. I'm going to say you have a sheet of paper and you have a needle. You kind of hold it up. You're kind of looking at the paper. You're looking at the needle. This paper you see written before you. Like it as I said before, it kind of recalls some thoughts to you from Z's teaching you about like some of your earlier years when Z was just learning her magic, formulating like her most basic spells, going through the basics of magic. And you're not entirely sure why, but you seem to have a far better understanding of it than you did before. You notice that these the lots of things written on this paper. It talks about protection. It talks about shielding. It talks about abjuration. You get a strong sense of defense. And as you're kind of rolling the needle, holding it up to your hand, looking at the piece of paper, that same kind of almost pitch for pitch, the same hum that you heard when you had your ear up against the door kind of goes through your ears, and there's this taste of rust, of metal, like you licked your axe. You take a second to make sure you didn't lick the needle, because you're like, wait, what was it? I didn't. You think for a minute maybe you did lick the needle, but you're like, no, I wouldn't have done that. You stop, but you got that kind of taste of iron on your tongue as you continue to look at this paper and hold this needle in your hand.
Oh. Okay.
And it's that same that same bass hum that you heard from the door in the other room.
Bruce is gonna go with it as long as he's able to.
Okay, so Bruce starts to do that. I'm gonna say at about that point, Zanim, your ritual will finish.
Can I real quick before she finishes? Nyx is gonna meditate, try and see if she can talk to Seek, see if she can connect to that area again.
You sit down, you contemplate, you get in your meditative pose, you start withdrawing, closing off distractions around you, walling off yourself from you kind of look up, one of the last things you see is you kind of look up and you're in almost about to enter that meditative state. You see Bruce just kind of looking at that needle in his hand, but at that point you just kind of stop focusing on everything around you and you pull yourself into yourself and you try to find that space that you found Seek before, and there's nothing. It's like you walk up and you hit a wall, practically thinking there's nothing here. Where is it? And all of a sudden there's just this iron hard wall that you bump into that you can't get past. Zanim, at that point your ritual concludes. You lift your head up from your ritual, casting. You kind of set your dragon shard down. That keeps the spells, keeps the ritual fresh in your mind for you. And you look up. And what's the first thing you look at?
Nyx.
Okay. So you kind of pull your head up from the floor. You notice intricate blue and green and swirling dragon mark colors kind of everywhere. Like this place was built with dragon mark magic. Like it wouldn't exist without this underlying current of it. You almost feel a pull from behind you back down the hallway heading towards the cell block. As you raise your eyes, you look at Nyx. I need you to roll me an Arcana check.
You got this.
As you study Nyx's face, you look, you look, you look. You catch the faintest trace of something on her face before it almost disappears again. It's almost as if you're starting to kind of like peel back the layers, and then they just like immediately snap shut. And then you find your eye drawn down to her chest. Where over her left pectoral, there's a rather familiar looking aberrant mark sitting on her chest.
I Bruce's mark is on her chest now. Alright. There's funky things going on, including Rix's headache. So Z would be really curious and check out Rix next.
No.
As you kind of turn and look towards Rix, Rix himself appears to be Rix. However, you do kind of catch this almost faint, swirling little bit of aberrant light that seems to be just orbiting around his head.
Okay.
Punching him in the head.
Okay.
Rix takes another 2 points of psychic damage.
Next, she's going to check out Bruce. And focus solely on seeing if there's anything Mark-ish going on about him anywhere right now.
Dang it. Trying to hide the needle.
Roll me a perception check, Zanim.
That's a natural 1. 6. He's like so concentrated, he like looks up and realizes she's looking at him and it's like, oh!
You see that he's playing with the tattoo needle again. He tries to hide it, but you've seen it, you know it's there. He's been playing with it for like probably as long as you've been doing this.
It's content, guys.
And then very sheepishly looks up like and meets her eyes with the needle embedded in his hand.
Like stuck into his hand?
Like panicked and just drove it into his hand.
Z is doing such a big eye roll, but she's still checking him out, trying to do the dragon mark thing. The spell only lasts for a minute. She's not going to waste the spell.
I love
and then she'll get back to this later.
Okay, looking at Bruce. Having looked at him with this particular sight before, it's almost as if he's smaller. Like his frame, like he has no dragon mark on his chest, but it's almost as if in this view, looking for dragon mark related things, that his form has shrunk. And as you stare at him with this, it's you kind of look from him, you look to like the next thing your eye will catch will be the dwarf in the corner, who, like Bruce, looks smaller than he is. However, he does have an aberrant dragon mark. It rests here on his throat, but his big bushy beard seems to have covered it. But you can see the glowing light peeking out from around his throat. But he too has this wasted, emaciated appearance.
Before Z moves on to look at the dwarf, as she is like noticing the shrinking around Bruce, like not really thinking about it. She's gonna be like, huh, freaky. And then she's gonna put her attention on to the next thing.
Poor Bruce is gonna come out of this so scarred.
Okay. And then you
Kind of
like your eye kind of
around.
and that's when you
His
start to
ears
see
droop a little bit.
the similarities between
Pulls the needle
Bruce
out of
and
his
this,
hand.
this dwarf that happens to be laying back. Looks like he's unconscious as far as anybody can tell.
So the dwarf still looks unconscious. Z's gonna go like, hey guys, watch my back. And she's gonna go start like poking around the dwarf, see if there's anything else there for her to see, dragon mark wise. Because it seems a little safer to examine the unconscious dwarf than it does to try to examine Bruce more closely right now, especially while he's playing with the freaking needle.
So if Z were to look at Julira or her gadgets, would they glow slightly because of the dragon shards used in them? I'm just curious.
No. Not
Okay.
not in that way. So you turn your attention and focus on the dwarf prisoner. You poke around him. Does not seem to have any other, but the amount of, for lack of a better term, his aura seems diminished. It doesn't seem like it fills out his body completely. Like Bruce's, his aura does not fill out his body. And
Okay.
you're not entirely sure why Bruce has an aura because there's no dragon mark there, but it still exists.
Okay. So after she gets any information, like the comparison between Bruce and the dwarf, does she still have time?
I'll give you just another moment to look at one more thing before it goes away.
I'm gonna go back to Nyx with that kind of new shrinking big aura thing, see if there's a bigger aura around Nyx because of Bruce's mark.
Her aura looks massive, almost twice the size that she is.
Okay.
And it doesn't look right. There's an unmistakable wrongness to it.
Okay.
What about... Oh, wait.
At which
And
point
then
your
do you
sight
have-
fades.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you mention any of that out loud?
No. No, the only thing you've heard Z say for the whole minute is, whoa, freaky, staring at Bruce.
But passing between Bruce and Nyx, did she glance at Kiss at all just to get an idea of what a normal looks like?
No.
No, that's not something she told me she did.
Alright.
Okay. So Z's gonna take like a deep centering breath as the spell fades. And then she's gonna look at Bruce and she's gonna sigh really deep and be like, what the frick are you doing with that needle? Why did you stick a magic needle in your skin? Are you 4?
It's doing something.
So you're taking unknown magic and sticking it in your skin to see what it may or may not do?
You
How
wouldn't
does
know it.
that seem smart? You are smarter than this, Bruce!
I think it's working.
Doing what?
I don't know what to do right now.
Bruce just shrugs.
Can you please get the unknown magic needle out of your skin?
I pulled it out.
Can I please have the magic needle?
I think it's almost done.
Give me the magic needle.
I found it.
Bruce. Bruce. I love you. It's important that you know that. Please give me the needle. There's a lot of things going on right here that I need to dig into. and explain to people, including your freaky aura. But first, give me the magic needle.
Where are you standing in relation to him?
Right in front of him at this point.
Okay. As you say, give me the frickin' needle. What is your enchantment special ability?
Hypnosis.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. He's gonna. Oh no.
Okay, is that
No.
under features and traits?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like enchanting gaze or hypnotic gaze or something like that.
Yeah.
Hypnotic gaze.
Do me a favor, post that into the Roll20 chat. Like you can click it and then click the button that it says Beyond 20 or something like that in the top corner.
Display in VTT, I think.
Yeah, that. Okay. Bruce, I'm gonna need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
And Z is not doing this intentionally.
He has to specify
Good
this.
luck persuading the party of that.
Not again, Zaneem.
Wisdom
Alright.
saving throw. 15.
What is your
think
spell
16.
DC?
I think I just failed.
DC 15.
He just made
Yes!
You just make it. You feel this almost enchanting gaze come upon you, like, and you find yourself slowly starting to give the needle. At which point you know it kind of pokes you again, and it pulls you, like it's enough to pull you out of it, and you kind of shake it off. Z, you kind of like find yourself almost locked in that same hypnotic gaze with him, and you both pull yourself out at about the same second. Like what's this?
Well, hey, back off! Jeez. He like covers his eyes. That's not cool.
What happened?
Sorry, it's been a bit of a stressful day.
You just,
And
like, you things on me.
believe it or not, that wasn't on purpose. If I was trying to enchant you on purpose, you would know it after we were done. But I wasn't.
As far
We've
as it
had
feels to
this
Bruce,
talk.
she
I'm
was
not
like
trying to do
totally
this
on
crap
board
to
with
you.
this.
We've had the talk. I paid attention. I apologized. It was an accident. But you are acting like a 4-year-old. You are worse than my freaking college students. How is that possible? You are a smart man.
All you're really hearing at this point, Bruce, is condescension. I tried to enchantment you. I failed. I don't know why I failed. It shouldn't have failed, but man, condescension.
Oh no.
What
Oh
the heck?
no. Meanwhile, the
So
rest of the
even
party.
though Z is throwing in the "you're a smart man, why are you being dumb," he's totally skipping the compliment in there.
Trauma.
I do believe that compliment is rather condescending at the moment. Yeah, Bruce is gonna stand up, and he's just kind of, his eyes turn very steely on her as he glares at her. And he just kind of meets her gaze for a moment or two. He's gonna take the needle and just toss it on the ground and say, "You know what, I don't need this shit." And he's walking off.
Z's just grateful he threw down the needle.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Does he have a green key?
No, he gave that to Nyx.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, guys.
What
Can I do an insight on?
what happened?
Yes, Kisriel, if you'd like to roll an insight check, you may.
My hypnotic gaze went off, it wasn't on purpose. Not that he would know or believe that at this point, but it wasn't intentional. I've been so focused on everything else that Brew's acting... I don't even know what to do with him!
I don't know what to do with him. I think we should rest.
I think right now the important thing is that Nyx has Bruce's mark. And hers is not quite there, and there's something funky going on with both the dwarf and Bruce. And there's some kind of mark magic going on around Nyx, so whatever psychic thing happened hasn't completely dissipated yet. But he has not taken on Nyx's old mark, which is what I was fearing to begin with. So there's all sorts of weird dragon mark magic going on.
Did you mean to say Rix when you said Nyx?
Yeah, I think she did. I think she did. I mean to say Rix.
Yeah, I meant to say Rix.
It's okay. I was momentarily confused, but then I was like, oh wait, no, okay. Rix is kind of like, someone should go talk to him, and I normally would do it, but he can't look at me. So
can anybody talk to Bruce right now without more drama? Cause
Carrie!
Yeah, Cherry, why don't you go talk to Bruce?
She probably had set up some green stuff, so she's like,
Alright, I'll go talk to him.
no, I'll do it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd send Gora, but I don't think he likes this version of Bruce likes Gora.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Laura kind of looks at you and her tail just kind of flickers in that agitated way. But since Z has walked over and was studying the dwarf man, she is kind of like sitting on her haunches and kind of staring at the dwarf man. Almost as if she has decided that she is going to guard this prisoner. And if he moves, woe be unto him. But you see that, like you mentioned, I don't think this Bruce likes her. You see that irritated tail flick.
I'll go over and make sure she's had some records.
Nyx, having heard everything that was said around you, kind of having pulled yourself out of your meditative state, what do you do?
Like, she's like kind of a. She's gonna check her chest.
You look down. You don't see a dragon mark there.
Like, there's nothing visible.
That doesn't change the fact that it's there.
Maybe it hasn't manifested yet?
I can't access or talk to Zeke. There's a wall, a block.
If what Zanim says is true, it's possible Zeke is near me.
Or it could be residual from whatever happened in the cloud.
I mean, I don't know anymore. Alright.
Don't know what to do.
I mean, have you tried talking to Bruce's mark yet?
No. I'm not sure how.
We could try to reach out to it the way that you would seek yours. Or, I mean, one of us could try to piss you off, but I'm kind of scared of what might happen.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared of anyone touching me, and I'm kind of scared of hurting anyone.
No.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Could always punch yourself. I'm joking. Don't do that, please. We're limited in healing.
Like, alright, I'll try and contact. She would kind of look back where Bruce had stormed off kind of sad a little bit, then kind of just go back to trying to meditate.
Okay.
Try to
Bruce. Bruce, as you storm off and storm down the hallway, you have a moment or two before Jalira kind of comes after you. Is there anything you do in that time?
Bruce is trying to figure out how that wall works.
Okay. You're sitting there studying the wall. Jalira, you kind of come up on him. Are you quietly coming up or making your presence known?
I'm not trying to sneak up on him.
Okay.
You probably hear her, like, claws skittering on the stone. I want to go up and just wrap my arms around his one arm and kind of just an arm hug. And say, she really does respect you.
Bruce is probably sitting there, like, with a hand on the wall and kind of, like, he's probably very much ignoring the sounds of someone coming up behind him until you grab onto his arm. He's kind of like a little startled, and then just kind of looking at her like, oh.
So what do you think's going on with this wall?
Sure. I don't know. It's different. It's weird. It probably leads somewhere, or something behind it, or I don't know. It'll explode. It's Kenneth.
Oh, that's true. I want to touch it. I really want to touch it. Do you think it'll explode if I touch it?
I was touching it. Let's touch it.
I'll just try to find little knots.
Send Sherry. She'll bring him back.
Sherry, roll me a perception check. Or investigation, your choice. Perception or investigation.
Cherry just seems like the least drama.
Investigation. Not too bad.
Okay. With either of those rolls, you kind of glancing around the hallway behind you, and now taking the time to kind of reach forward and touch it. This piece of wall looks exactly the same to you as all the other walls around you.
You said you could kind of see magic now? Well, a lot of the magic in this place is placed into the stonework. So, could this wall just have had more or less magic than the rest of the? And why this particular wall?
What did Bruce notice exactly about the wall?
Having started your kind of perception and your investigations right before the fight behind you happened, you taken time to notice that something about that wall was different. Something like you could have swore initially the texture was off, the color was off, and you're kind of seeing it now as you're sitting here kind of focused intently on it. You see that kind of slight discoloration compared to a couple of the wall to Bruce's tokens right. That wall seems to be normally colored, whereas the wall in front of you and the wall that runs to the left of Cherry, almost back as far as the hallway going north, all has this kind of slight discoloration, this slight distexture to it. But if you turn your head and turn back, you kind of don't see it, and then you turn your head and turn back and you do see it. And the more you focus and stare upon it, you can see it's different.
I don't know, it's just like my eyes are playing tricks on me.
Kind of sounds like what Z described with trying to find the dragon marks. Seeing things that are both there and not there.
Bruce is gonna take out his axe, kind of stop, admire the craftsmanship again. Just kind of like.
I take a knowing step back.
He's gonna flip it over in his hand, so he's holding the butt, and he's just gonna kind of Like, not super hard, but just kind of like testing the...
Resolve
Yeah.
and strength.
It's a solidly built stone wall. But as you hit it, your axe impacts on it. It sets up again another. You kind of listen for a moment, and you're kind of hearing this vibration, this hum. However, this hum is not on pitch with the other ones you've heard. This one is a little bit lower, a little bit deeper, a little bit more bass to it. You can almost kind of feel it a little bit lower in your chest than up near your clavicles. This one is a little bit more like heart, chest centered. And as you kind of feel that hum, hear that hum, feel that vibration, you taste stone, you taste dirt.
Keep tasting. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there might be magic here.
Roll me an
I don't
Arcana
know.
check.
Four.
Nice.
Magic wall. Yep. Magic wall.
I don't know. There was a door back there that we didn't get into. Maybe I got the sense that there was something like protective in there. Maybe it's doing something to like block this area.
Yeah, maybe there's just a secret passage here that leads into that room.
I don't know. But it seemed like a different pitch, though. Like it wasn't on the same frequency. I don't know if that means it's a different type of magic or a different source. Doom, 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 doom.
Every time you kind of strike at the wall with your axe, it resets off that kind of lower bass vibration.
Any thoughts?
There are different spells I can try to set up for tomorrow. After we get a nice long rest, I can try setting up, like, investigate. I mean, I have my own detect magic, but I'm not entirely sure how that would be different. We can try different things, but Bruce, something scary is going on with Nyx. I think that's why Z's so stressed out.
I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on with Nyx.
Yeah. Can we go back?
He's gonna turn to look at her. Did you know?
What?
Did you know that there was something underneath all those forms they would take? Did you know that they were hiding who they were the whole time?
I think she knew.
What?
Okay. Okay, I'm pretty sure Julia did at least. Julia would have wondered at some point and probably would have looked it up. So, I mean, something's gotta be there.
I guess. Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Who knows?
I looked it up in the book.
Roll me a
when I was
history check.
younger. Okay.
About the time that you struck out looking for an apprentice, like you found your first apprenticeship, you encountered a changeling who had come into your shop looking for something. And like at one point in time, they played it really well. They looked like they had purposely strode into your shop looking for some kind of cute little article or something. They'd kind of put themselves back towards a little bit more of a corner in the shelf, and then you, for a split second, you had seen them revert to their normal changeling form, and then revert immediately into another form. And you yourself were kind of in the back of the studio working your stuff, and you just kind of glanced up, and you happened to catch it. It was a very rare instance in which you happened to catch it. But since that point, it kind of burned in your mind like, what was that? What did I just see? You weren't even sure what you saw. And then you took some time. You went to the library at the university. You may have even questioned Nyx or Rix, but you might have been too scared to. Because again, like if they hadn't shown you that form, maybe there was a reason for it. Maybe they were keeping it secret, and you didn't want to kind of like crash in on their privacy like that. Because you like to, you pretty much respect everybody in this group. And so you went to Z's good old method of just look it up in a book. Let's see if I can find something. And it took a while of digging and looking, but you did eventually find that you found out that changelings do have a true form underneath their appearance. But most of the time that others around them find it so offsetting, so off-putting that most changelings spent time just wearing another person's form, not ever being in that natural form.
I mean, just because I looked it up once, I still wasn't ready for it the first time I saw Rex. I felt so bad. He was going through things, and he had just flickered, and I saw briefly, and all I wanted to do was get away from him when he needed familial support.
I don't know, I just feel like like an idiot. Like,
you are not in a great place right now. This sucks that you've unlearned so much that I can't imagine going back to 5 years ago. There's so much I've learned.
like, I feel like I don't even know like who they are.
Well,
I mean, I guess Rix was always like a slimy bastard. I never really knew him, but I don't know, I guess I thought I knew Nyx.
She went through some stuff.
I feel like I don't know anything. I don't feel like I don't know anyone. I don't know what I'm doing here.
We're trying to save Pipes.
And then, yeah, you said that like Pipes was kidnapped by evil.
Yeah.
I was just on my ship.
I know.
Cherry, as he mentions his ship, you think back to, like this, that's how you guys got here to Dargoon. You got here on board Bruce's ship. Bruce's ship, he had the most delightful crew. It was that chick named Odiana. She was really cool. It was like Colin was there. Yeah, right? Yeah, you gotta give this kind of cool menthol burn that kind of goes through your head as you're kind of thinking about it. And Bruce, that you kind of share that same like it's almost like you kind of look in each other's eyes and you kind of share that same memory as it makes it more solidified and more real.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought you
Rix, as you look up, looking over at Z, for some reason you don't recognize Z. Like you struggle to find a name and a face for this person who you think you know. It's on the tip of your tongue. But this strange woman who's looking at Nyx worried, who's looking at you worried, who's trying to find out what's going on.
Do I recognize my own sister?
You recognize Nyx. Like Nyx is your sister. There's no way you're ever gonna forget Nyx.
Right.
Z, it's you're not quite sure who she is. And with that, we're going to take a break. Because it's 8:30 and it's break time, so...
Oh no!
Thank you guys for listening. We look forward to when we get back from our break. And we're back. Sorry about we had a little bit of a delay there, trying to do some technical difficulties, fix things, get things back in line. However, we are ready to jump back in, and at this point in time, we're going to jump back in with Bruce and Jalira. Jalira, you have this moment of this really this memory passes in front of you. You remember seeing Odiana, you remember seeing Colin, and then all of a sudden, this massive amount of fiery pain. Can you roll for me 2d6?
Ooh, that's a good rolls.
That's a great roll. As you almost like before your eyes, you see Gimbel's face. You see the face of Juria. You see all the other crew that you interacted with on Bruce's ship just kind of start to burst into flames in your mind and start to melt, and you take 10 points of psychic damage. Bruce, you watch this go across your face, and you're just like Cherry audibly screams out. Everybody over here in this in the junction area hears it. You see this look of horror on her face.
Yeah, he's probably sitting there like after, because they had a similar moment and experience, and he was sitting there like, yeah, you and Odiana really got along. I thought it was, at which point she starts screaming. It's like, what's wrong? Are you all right? What's going on?
I don't know.
Do we?
I glimpsed. I think I got a glimpse of what you're experiencing. Oh, this is so hard to make sense of.
Rex,
it hurts.
Do me a favor and roll me 2d6.
Oh no. Nice.
Not bad. Not bad. Again, as that familiar feeling rockets through your brain, it's not, this time it's not screams. It's almost as if these hooks have settled in your mind, and the memory of who Zanim is resettles back in your mind, but it's like clawing its way to stay in your head. Almost as if something's trying to extract that memory, but it's managing to hold still, but it's hurting you to hold on to that memory.
So I take 6 points of psychic damage?
Yes.
Rick is like,
and Rick screams out. And at this point, everybody else, what do you do?
Rix is so close to passing out, guys.
I'm gonna go check on Rex, see if I can figure out what the frick that was.
Nick is gonna look at Rick. Jalira just screamed.
Did Bruce
gonna
hurt
take
Jalira?
What did the kid say?
She went to go check after you, and then we heard her scream. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
So Kiz is back at her opinion of Bruce from the beginning of the campaign.
No, she was never a homicidal maniac.
All right.
What is going on?
Cherry, are you okay? My gosh, what happened?
At this point, that kind of smooth, menthol, numbing feeling comes over your mind. You don't even know who those people were who burned to a crisp in front of you, but you know.
We were just talking about.
It's just. It doesn't seem as important.
We were just talking about being on the ship and meeting Odiana and how much they got along.
What? I thought they.
Kizriel, next. I need you to roll me 2d6 each.
Oh,
Damn it. Sorry.
Such a great set of characters being literally burned from our minds.
I know.
We're rolling
this
good
is where
tonight.
Flash
Nice
and
numbers,
Eureka lost
everybody.
me.
Like, no, Odiana wasn't on the ship. That she wasn't there. You had the other, like, and then those memories like start to like in the same example with Rick's, like the memories of what happened and the ship that you were on. It didn't have Odie on it. It's not right. It's in conflict, and your mind is trying to make sense of it because the Bruise is just kind of almost emitting the surety of what's happening. Jalira, you're like, yeah, you're agreeing. You're thinking, yeah, no, that's what happened. But Nyx and Kiz, like, you have this disconnect, this disjunction in your brains that causes you to like shift horribly, and you take 10 and 9 points of psychic damage respectively.
Bruise's memories are an invasive parasite.
Bruce is so good at gaslighting that he is ripping your old memories out.
Rick's is
At
like
which point,
breathing
Nyx,
so
I need
hard.
you to roll me a D100.
Oh no.
Bruce has always wondered what it would be like to get punched in the face by himself. Not this version, but the older version.
What happened to that really hot half orc?
Good looking guy. It's the first time Bruce the Younger has thought that.
Okay.
So it begins.
So, Nyx, part of you just like with that pain that you just endured, part of you kind of recedes into yourself. At which point, Jalira, Kizrael, Bruce, you see your old good friend Buddy Bruce kind of pull up, turn to look at Bruce, who's there, and just freaking full on charge. And Bruce, can you bring up your other character? Because I know you have him in storage. I need you to roll athletics against yourself.
Wait, so Nyx takes on his characteristics too?
Okay.
Oh, rip. Oh man, if we ever get affiliate status.
Oh, there he is. Hey, bud. Long time since seeing you. Okay, athletics against myself.
Yeah.
I think it's the same bonus. I did it with advantage because whatever.
Well, the bruise that is attacking you is raging, so I'm also going to need you to go through the raging, the features there too.
Oh yeah, I think that's already set, so that's with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Bruce the Younger is mildly intimidated and confused by this large orc man that is attacking him.
Do me a favor and have Bruce punch himself.
Ooh. All right.
What is happening?
Just recklessly?
Yes. Oh, he's reckless. Nyx, how many key points do you have?
Oh my gosh.
One left.
One left.
I'm suddenly glad you only have one.
She can't cast magic, but she can still do flurry of blows.
What's your how many key points does it cost to use stunning strike? You're gonna use that key point. What's your save for stunning strike?
Let me see real quick.
Guys, I'm just gonna put it out there. She might go insane, but this is a badass character build.
It is. It's awesome. It's crazy. This is weird. All right. Sorry. DC 13.
Literally fighting.
Con saving throw.
Okay. Well, let's see. Bruce should be able to make that, but we'll see. Okay.
Like Bruce just like rocks you in the jaw with that first punch, and it's almost enough to make you see stars. However, being the barbarian you are, you're able to kind of shake it off. Your second attack, please. So you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then another 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh no.
Are you conscious?
Yeah, I'm conscious.
Okay.
6. Bruce might burn a use of the shield on that one.
Just kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of shout out like the word. Like you have that moment of thinking the word. Poof, and using your burning one of your shield charges pushes Bruce the Elder off of you, and just like just seething down at you. What would Bruce the Younger like to do?
Oh no.
I think he's not sure why Nyx has turned into a very intimidating orc in his attack again.
I mean, can Jalira and I intervene?
You, at the moment, you two are kind of, this is like a surprise round. You guys will be coming in just a moment. But right now, it's the Bruise versus Bruise.
Yeah. So he just got like almost tackled. With that athletics, is he like tackled or is he grappled? What is
he kind of initiated the grapple and just kind of like wrapped his arm around you and just started punching you as hard as he could. However, the shield charm on the shield allowed him to push him off of you, so you are no longer grappled.
So, probably there.
Yeah. Probably just like take the shield and hold it in front of him, and probably take the dodge action as he's more like trying to push this raging person back. Just like, Nyx, what are you doing?
Okay. Once again, Bruise will attack Bruise the Elder will attack Bruise the Younger.
Okay. So, recklessly, but I took the dodge action as I'm fighting myself, so I guess straight rolls.
Mhm.
Straight rolls.
16 misses. 22 hits, though.
Okay.
For another 6 points of damage. He gets socked in the face again by himself. Yeah.
Oh, you hitting yourself.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Oh wait, what's the effect of your rage do again?
Oh, no.
Like there's a fear component and a radius component. What are those again?
Oh no.
It does damage of a certain type based off the roll.
Nyx, go ahead and roll me a d4 real quick.
One.
Okay. So I need Bruise, Jalira, and Kizriel to make a wisdom saving throw.
No.
This is
This is so bad.
Guys, Whitehearth is like, it's just the worst. It's the worst.
This is quite hard.
So that is. So this one came up psychic damage to everyone.
Yeah, I think it should have been.
Okay, so 4 psychic damage, and everybody is afraid of Nyx Bruise.
And we all got 4 damage.
Yeah, y'all took that 4. Just. Has anybody passed out?
Is that the
I am
bar we're going
competing
for in
with-
this one?
Bricks for the lowest health, but Bricks
Yeah,
still has
but
the lowest.
thankfully he's not there.
Yeah,
Hit me! Knock me out!
Bricks over here.
Okay.
Knock her
We're
out!
gonna go.
Frix is real close.
We're gonna give Bruise the Younger one more round,
Oh, no.
and then Kiz and Jalira are gonna have a chance to do something, and we're gonna cut back to the other group, who, like, what the heck just happened down there? So,
Okay.
Oh god.
Guys,
is
this
Bruce
guy's
the Younger gonna
love
do
it.
something, or
Probably try to tackle Nyx. Which probably isn't going to go well because he doesn't have advantage, but we'll see.
so roll those beautiful checks against yourself.
Nope.
Oh.
All the
I guess
time.
I'll try it again. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we-
So
Grappling himself.
And as Bruce is kind of taking
Hold
this
on.
in,
No, because, gosh, dang it, Mike. You know how difficult this is to keep track of. Because I have disadvantage because I'm frightened of myself.
yep.
Oh, okay.
It's still good.
Okay, 24. Okay, 24 versus 15 on the second one.
Yeah, you're like you've had this terrified just no, as you kind of tackle him, and as you're sitting here, like fire, like you're studying this orc that has come out of there, and you start to see recognizable features, like is this me? Older, like scarred everywhere, almost as if somebody had taken hooks and just kind of raked Bruce from head to toe. Roll me a wisdom saving throw real quick.
Which one?
Bruce the Younger.
Like, we got a lot going on here. Wisdom saving
I
throw.
love the which one.
So you just kind of take another point of psychic damage as you're just like you're realizing this is you, and that fire that burns through your head every time your past that you don't know about is brought up is like it's starting to kind of push in on you, and you feel the memories that you've acquired start to kind of shift, and you're starting to see some of the overlay of the older memories you have. Most particularly at this exact second, you're seeing Callista like running you through the guts as you're like struggling in this conflict grapple with him. Kizriel, what do you do?
Having left my bow in the other room because she wouldn't have brought it. She is going to panic and cast prestidigitation. She is going to instantaneously soil an object, and that object is going to be Rix's face. Nyx's face. Preferably her eyes.
Dude, I love it.
as Bruce kind of starts to like this almost sweat a little more profusely, it's like he has kind of shaken out his eyes. He's still focused on Jalira. What do you do?
I think she's gonna take her action to rummage through her bag.
Oh, Nyx is right there. I would just leave bag up a space.
Just.
Oh wait, that's right. Are we supposed to spend our round trying to get away from him because we're afraid?
Oh, wait.
Alchemy jug, mayonnaise.
No, I ate that too.
I'm here for it. This like a lot stranger.
No, you guys have the frightened condition, which means you can't willingly move closer, and attacks and ability checks are a disadvantage.
So is an attack of trying to cast a spell on somebody's face count?
Roll me roll me an attack with your spellcasting ability. So that'd be a D20 plus proficiency plus whatever your caster
Spell attack. What happens if I just
roll me a
click
spell attack.
that? Come back. What is this shiny thing? It's not working. Wait, did it work?
I think that hits Bruce. Does that hit Bruce?
Which one, Mike?
Bruce the Elder. Bruce the Elder.
doesn't have a
She's aiming
shield.
for the one that doesn't seem to belong right now.
You also want to take off the shield because he doesn't have it.
Yeah, he has an AC of 14 without the shield.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're kind of feeling something drip into your eyes, but we'll recover with that later. Jalira, what are you looking for? You're digging in your bag. You got 6 seconds. What are you gonna pull out?
She's gonna pull out the Lyrington signal flare. Because she's panicky.
The signal wand. Okay, you put your hand in your back. Signal wand, and you pull it out. What do you do with it?
I would like to cast a probably I think
Signal flare.
what did I write? I think white was the generic all clear. I wrote down what the different colors were.
Mm-hmm.
She chose the white
what-
one. I don't remember what it means.
Okay,
She's
she's
fired
using
all
the
of
white.
them.
Where is she aiming it?
Between the two bruises, if at all possible.
Okay.
Grapple.
Roll me at is that your spellcaster check?
I think so, yeah.
Does a 15 hit either bruise?
It hits Bruce the Elder.
Okay. So this flare of light just kind of raises up. Okay. We're going to pause for this for a moment. Because that 12 seconds was rather crazy. Meanwhile, up here, Rick's just what just happened?
He is breathing really hard right now because his health is super low. And he's just kind of like...
Okay. Z's hands on his shoulders, are you okay? What can I do? What's going on?
Do I remember her now, right?
Yes. She's managed to claw her way back into your head.
Sounds like Z.
I didn't recognize you for a moment. Everything hurts.
He's gonna back up and see if giving him some space helps.
Everything hurts.
Would an Arcana check here help her maybe figure out what the frick is going on?
Sure. At disadvantage.
Oh no.
I don't know how to do the advantage disadvantage thing, so I'm just gonna run it twice.
Okay.
Or
you have no clue what's happening here.
Yeah, Rick's is just grabbing at his head and pulling at the braid that Nyx had done for him, and hard enough that he's almost he's gonna. It looks like he might be pulling it out.
How many uses of hypnotic gaze do you have a day?
One, I think.
Just once a day? Okay.
No, it's infinite. You just, if a creature succeeds, you can't use it against them for 24 hours.
Hold on.
Cool.
Nice.
Are you making Z free? Hold on.
Oh, no.
You can use your action to maintain just... Okay. You're right, it doesn't have a 24-hour thing, but it does have there's a red square with the special that's clicked, so it shows one action.
Yeah. As far as I understand, you can use it as many times as you want. It's just once a creature succeeds, it won't work on them again until 24 hours has passed.
So that's a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah, DC 15.
Rex, can you make me a wisdom saving throw? DC 15?
Okay. Nope.
Blessed numbness just kind of swirls through your head as you kind of fog out for a second. Z, you're not sure why, but you're hypnotic gazing him because that's what you came to. Maybe if I can get him to not think clearly, it won't hurt so bad. So you just engage your hypnotic gaze on him. Roll me a wisdom saving throw yourself.
So this is a conscious, Z is choosing to do this on purpose.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw and we'll find out. Yeah. No, you're not doing this on purpose. Something is wrong. Something around here is giving you directions.
I bet it's the dude who's unconscious.
No, that
seems like your dragon mark is kind of saying, "Hey, you need to hypnotic gaze him."
Oh no!
It's subtle. You didn't see it at first. When you first used it on Bruce. This time, however, you've had a chance to kind of hypnotic gaze. Well, okay. Why would I hypnotic gaze Rix? That doesn't make sense. Just do it. And you did it. And Rix kind of calmed and mellowed for a second. And it's you took that moment. You realized you just took orders from your dragon mark.
Well, Z is gonna freak the frick out because she has never had that kind of interaction with her mark before.
Is that gonna maintain it?
Roll me a concentration check. So I'm just
Oh, sorry, that was a saving throw.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Yeah. It's the same thing.
Okay.
You're a warcaster though, so you make them at advantage.
So roll again.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
You managed to hold on to it, Rix. You're kind of in this numb, mellow state. Back to the other end. Can you roll a wisdom saving throw for Bruce the Elder?
Okay.
Watch him succeed.
Alright. Bruise the Elder Wisdom saving throw.
Nope.
5.
Bruise the Elder shifts back down into normal Nyx, whose eyes kind of blink rapidly for a moment before she falls to the ground. Like, kind of, well, in this case, she kind of falls limp in your arms.
Okay.
Is her face still dirty?
Considering she hulked out of her clothes earlier and then had to completely redo them,
Yeah, they're probably
Her clothes are not looking
on.
great.
I was gonna say, what level of dress bruise was he fighting?
Bruise, I think it's appropriate to put you back out there with a loincloth right now. To repair her clothes, she had to tighten them back on herself and tie them. So she's probably ripped through all of that at this point. She's kind of wearing rags at this point.
Is she modest? I think that's the question.
Yeah,
You know, if you stop and let Jalira work, she can fix those.
So yeah, honestly, I think with the memory he had just gotten, Bruce would have like tightened his grip and pulled his fist back and was getting ready to punch himself in the face. As he just had a horrible memory of being gutted, like flash back into him forcefully, and he's about to do it when she shifts back, and he's just kind of holding, like, he'd probably drop her. He's kind of like.
With the disappearance. With the disappearance of Bruise the Elder, all the fear effects just dissipate. Like everything fades away.
I'm gonna run the next.
Well, you're right next to her. So.
Like backs up against the wall, like like a cornered animal almost. Just like, what the hell was that? Who was that? Was that? What is going on?
We are going. Good. Let's take her back. We'll figure this out. We'll just take her back to the rest. Let's all stick together.
Why was she? Me? Why did she attack me?
We are all going back to the rotunda, and we're going to stay there. Nobody's going to wander off. Now.
Roll me an intimidation check.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
She's just a little halfling.
Yeah, but she's their mom. They're
Yeah.
Do it with advantage.
Because otherwise that would have just been adorable.
We'll see.
He complies because it's cute.
we all just flash back to when she was in charge.
Mama kids. Oh, you couldn't have
You all
timed
feel-
that better.
You all feel pretty effectively sugar. Like maybe we should listen to what she says.
Okay. Can you help
I
me
love it.
with her?
Are you asking Bruce?
Can someone help
Bruce
me
looks.
with
Bruce
her?
looks like he's doesn't want to get near Nyx right now.
Wait, so Nyx is unconscious?
Nyx.
Yes, Nyx
Okay,
is unconscious.
I will help you carry Nyx back if Bruce won't do it.
Okay.
I help you get her onto your shoulder.
How tall are you in your base form?
She's light though.
She's,
5
they're-
foot
they're-
6.
she's also
I'm 4'9",
slight.
so this is fun.
I'll
Yeah,
move her.
you're like super
between the two
slumped.
of you. Yeah, between the two of you, you manage to kind of stumble back in here with a.
She turns around and gives Bruce a glare like, "You coming?"
Yeah,
With
like
a-
once
with
they're,
a-
once they're like moving off with her, he's following.
With a mostly modest Nyx. Like the bare essentials are covered, but that's about it.
And we just need to.
He's
Is
being
there a
nice.
key to pull out to close the door?
The
No,
key
we
is not
can't.
there.
Yeah, you only use the key to just turn, and then the lock disappears. So we haven't figured out how to close anything. We can just open the next thing, which closes the old one.
All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and open?
One of the junction ones.
I'll look at Jalira and say, "Let's. If we open up this one, it should lead just to that other junction, right?"
Okay.
So,
Do I have to
so they
carry
walk
that?
back in, carrying Nyx, and Bruce walks in a moment later, like probably holding his face as he's got a bloody nose, and some bruises on his face now.
Rix is hypnotized right now. He's just like.
Do you have a green key?
You do.
I
Rix
think
gave
I
it
gave
to
it
you.
back to
Zanine,
Rick.
Zanine, where are you?
You were unconscious. You didn't give it back to me.
Okay.
I'm still right there next to Rex, like looking at him, but I'm backed up a step or two as I'm like trying to prevent him from hurting now that I have like seen the pain relief. And as soon as has she had a second to like clear her head? Because as soon as her head clears, she's gonna snap out of it and let him go.
I'd like them coming in is enough of a distraction to kind of make you kind of shake your head out of it and lose focus. Because again, you're seeing them carry Nyx in. Like Nyx
Okay.
like, passed out unconscious. You remember hearing a scream. You remember hearing Bruce roar a lot.
Almost like.
And that's
What?
all very important, but she has just tried hypnotic gaze twice with her family, who almost ousted her for using magic on them. So she's gonna go as far away from everybody as possible and like sit down and meditate. Like, this is all very important, but I gotta deal with this crap or I'm gonna lose my family.
Okay.
Rick,
All right, Kiz is gonna
come out-
see that everybody's kind of just going their separate way. Jalira's going, or she's gonna point to Jalira and ask her to look at Nyx, help Nyx, and then I'm gonna go ahead and turn the key so that we open up the doorway that way. You don't have to change the map if you don't want to, Mike. And just be like, okay, guys, something really bad is going on. Let's just take a moment to breathe and not like get mad at each other for a minute. Can we do that?
We have not rested since the gem incident. I think we really need, because of the magical restorative effects that a long rest can give us, I think we really need to try that.
How's Rix doing now that he's been pulled out?
like kind of pulled out of that hypnotic state. Like it kind of helped you. Like it kind of helped you it numbed it enough for you to kind of pull yourself back together enough to like have coherent thought.
Mm. Oh.
And Z is over, like, as soon as the doorway appears, she's gonna scooch over a little bit, but she's like almost crying.
Yeah. I think Rix will glance at her and kind of I can hear myself in someone's mic, I think. But Rix is kind of glance at her and see kind of like her state. I think she's not hiding it, and I think if you're okay with it, a passive insight of 14 will be obvious to Rix that she didn't do it on purpose. If you're cool with that, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not gonna get mad, and he's just gonna look around the room and look at everyone else and like hope that he recognizes all of them except for the dwarf dude. And that's
Everybody
what he's
seems
doing.
to be solidified in your memory. You remember everybody here.
Like the traveler.
It's like something's driving our powers a little wacky. We just saw Nyx turn into Bruise, pink-haired Bruise, again.
Again?
And she did not have control as she attacked our current Bruise.
You
There's
said-
something that's messing with our powers.
you said again?
Yeah, it happened during the fight earlier. I see what happened. What's wrong?
Yeah, Z is actively like crying and rocking a little bit now. She's that upset.
Okay, you're getting the big sister hug from the tiny little halfling.
So Bruce went over to the same exact corner he was in to sit down again. Is the needle there?
Zanim, I think Zanim said she picked it up.
Did she say she picked it up?
Bro, what? Kawaii.
Z tried to stomp on it or something. Like she didn't pick it up.
So yes,
But
the
she
needle
did-
is still there.
All right, he's gonna pick it up. Then he's gonna plop down.
What happened? See what happened. It seems like some of us have been just spontaneously getting pain. It seems like it's related to the fact that Bruce can't remember the past 6 years. Does that happen to you?
So Z is kind of so intertwined with her magic and with her dragon mark that she's not really 100% she's not listening right now. She's not paying attention. She vaguely sees the things, but it's not really. She's not grokking any of it.
All right,
Because her dragon mark just betrayed her, and that's not the relationship she's had with it ever before.
Or anyone in the history of dragon marks that you can recollect.
Yeah,
Right.
everything
That's
she
an
knows about
aberrant
dragon
one.
marks, true dragon marks, it's never shown up like this before. So she's Z is not all there right now. She's kind of really freaking out.
She's going. Kiz is going to leave Z with her best friend, who's trying to comfort her, and she's going to go ahead and just try to pull Nyx's head onto her tiny lap and just kind of try to comfort her. Come on, there. Okay. She's not going to actively try to wake Nyx though, because right now she wants everybody to take a break.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look at Rix and just.
I keep forgetting who you are.
Oh my word.
Really want just this all to go away.
What's happening to us?
Is it that room? Is it this place? Is it that guy over there?
The
When
gem
you
that
say
Bruce
it's that
touched-
guy over there, Rick starts reaching for his sword.
Well, Gora's still kind of like.
It's an easy way to find that one out.
What if he has
Still have
answers?
problems?
No. The gem that Bruce touched, it disappeared, right?
It was gone.
Did we detect magic on Mr. T?
Mm-mm.
He had an aberrant mark, that's all we know. Or at least that's all that Zinim knows.
Nabber and Marks could do something by themselves. I mean, they're not magic themselves, but. Okay, I'm gonna look at Gora, be like, how are you doing?
Are you okay?
You've been standing next to him. What's going on?
Gora's just kind of looking around at the whole group, but still eyeballing him, but eyeballing everybody, and kind of lets out a low growl, purr, whatever. An affirmative. You've heard her kind of agree with you, if you've asked her if she's okay before, and she's kind of let out a little sound that lets you know that she's okay, and she does let that out.
Okay. I'm just gonna calmly stroke Nyx's hair.
Rix is paranoidly looking at everyone continually to make sure that he's remembering them.
Bruce
Okay.
is alternating between staring at Nyx and glancing over at Z. And part of him wants to go and see what's going on, and the other part of him is convinced that there is nothing he can do to help in this moment.
Z's gonna be freaking out for about 5 minutes, and then she will get control of herself again. So I don't know. Whenever that's up, let me know.
Having heard conversations about other people having received sendings, you kind of have an idea of that's what's happened.
Z?
No, is that your response, Kizriel?
No, I was like, did you just barely send that to me? Because she would have freaked out as soon as she heard that.
Yeah, that just happened.
Where are you? How can we get to you?
Kiz?
I just heard Pipes' voice.
Bruce looks up.
Rick stares at her.
Like, he said something like, they're doing things. They want him to do things that he didn't even know he could do.
Are you saying that Pipes is doing this?
I don't know. I think it was a sending spell. I think.
Oh.
Or could the thing that happened to Bruce have affected Pipes? Anybody connected with him? Hate to be one of those people who...
I mean, last time Sadim tried sending him a spell, it hurt him. It hurt her. If I tried to ask again, like, hey, how do you feel about what happened the last 6 years? I'm gonna just pat Nyx's face to see if she wakes up.
But does that mean if he can get a message out, does that mean we can send him a message?
I don't know. Does he even have sending prepared? I mean, any of all of this, I just want to rest right now.
About this point, Nyx, you wake up.
Okay.
And you're greeted by a halfling's face who looks like she's been in tears.
What happened?
You transformed into Bruce.
I what?
And then attacked Bruce. I think it's the marks. And she'll kind of give her a hug, like she wants to forgive her. Let her know I don't think it's her fault.
Yeah, but knowing Nyx, that's...
Well, sure.
She's trying. She's trying.
Oh, she kind of stood up, realized that she's, like, not wearing anything almost.
When she says that, when she glances down, I'm going to just pull out Fixer, and Fixer's going to just start crawling on you, sewing your clothes back together.
It's not worth it. She's like, I've got something else to wear.
I have a goblin size.
Your head hurts. Your head hurts a lot.
Not feeling very good.
I'll take first watch.
You said something.
Rix is going to kind of pull himself up to his feet, and kind of slump towards Zanim. And then he's going to, because I think she's still in fetal position crying, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to wrap his arms around her and hug her. And he's just going to whisper, I know it wasn't on purpose. It's okay. It's okay. And he's just going to hug her tight.
Nyx is gonna
Rex
sit
knows
up
how to handle this.
and she would kind of glance at Bruce, look away, and she'd be like, I should change.
Yeah, Bruce is like plopped down on his butt, his knees in front of him, and kind of his arms resting on his knees, and he's like glaring at Nyx, like his nose looks like it might be a little broken. There's blood on his face, and he's just like somewhere between glaring and being incredibly wary.
She's gonna look away and look down, kind of thing. Maybe I should go. I should move somewhere else.
We're
don't
all
wanna
staying
hurt
here.
anyone again.
We are staying together.
Stay in this room, but you can be in the far from the rest of us if you want.
I think Rick's coming over would have actually gotten through to Z.
Because he was the one that was victim to it, I guess.
Well, and he was also like, she remembered the conversation with Rick's last time when she spelled Bruce.
Yeah.
And how like incredibly pissed everybody was at her, including Rex.
Yeah, he was mad. He was scared.
Everybody was mad.
It was anger rooted in fear, but yes.
So she remembers that, which is what's feeding into the spiral. So she would have paid attention to Rick's here because he's the one who like had actual conversations with her last time that she refused to back down, and now he's here telling her it's okay.
Yeah, because he knows she didn't do it on purpose, and that he knows that she's trying to be better.
So Z would snap out of it a little bit and start trying to figure out what the frick is going on.
Pulls away. Okay.
Well, she would like
I know,
slowly like come around and give him a hug back and say thanks.
Kiss is going to take out a notebook and she's going to start scrolling down all sorts of notes, including the message from Pipes.
Nyx is gonna change. She's gonna change forms first because I don't know if it went back to her elf or her true form. Which did it? Which form did she come back to?
She came back in her true form.
Okay. She's gonna change the elf form before changing, but you guys could probably see the scars on her back and side that she's hidden most of the time from you guys.
Would we see Bruce's mark on her chest?
Bruce's mark is not there.
She's gonna change into her dark clothes.
Sometimes I don't think it's the place.
Kind of just curl up a bit, holding her bag.
Okay, so now that Z is feeling better, like at least a little bit better, like she still has to check in with her magic and her mark and figure out WTF, mate. But she's a little more like standing up and walking around and talking to everybody and businesslike and trying to figure out what in the world is going on here. So she'd probably start with Nyx and be like, okay, what happened? Like, I want to make sure we're all on the same page with understanding what in the world is going on here. And after Nyx, she'd go to Bruce and kind of like make rounds and check in with everybody and figure out what happened in the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes where, you know, things suddenly went all wonky.
It was probably a period of time and didn't last more than 30 seconds.
Okay, well, things went all wonky. But,
Is anybody in the group ready to be responsive to Z coming around and questioning them?
Nope.
All
I'm-
Nyx would say is, I don't remember. I don't remember a thing.
Rix is just like, I keep forgetting you, all of you. I mean, all of you, but it was Cherry first, and then it was you. I didn't know you.
And Z's not like questioning you meanly. She's being like,
Yeah.
how you doing? Like,
Yeah.
she's not being aggressive or mean about it.
Rix is just explaining to her kind of like what had happened previously. Kind of like he had looked at her, he didn't know who she was, and then he was remembering her, and then that's when the pain started and everything.
Okay. She'd go over to Cherry and be like, you were yelling in pain, and then Rix was yelling in pain, and I'm sorry I couldn't come check on you. Are you okay?
It was memories. It's like I could feel some of his memories, and then they burnt other memories, and now I'm not even sure who was on Bruce's ship anymore.
Can I do an Arcana check on that?
Sure.
So we're sharing memories. Rix is losing memories.
You're definitely able to tie that something is happening with your family's memories. Something is causing them to shift, something is causing, and it's hurting your family.
Would I be able to link all of that up with Bruce touching the crystal and that shifting everything? I mean, that's a 27. That's real good.
With that kind of check, you have high, strong suspicions. You can't prove it. You can't state it with fact in your voice.
Do you say this out loud to me though?
I'm fairly sure it's linked.
Okay. Well, I'm just talking to you, getting your side of things, and then I'll go like talk to everybody else and get like what they know has happened and what's happening as I'm like piecing all of it together in my head.
Well,
so I'm not stating any conclusions yet. I'm gathering data. So I'd go over to Bruce and, hey Bruce, are you okay? What happened to your face?
He, like, after Nyx got up, he just went to like staring at the ground. And when she asked like what happened to his face, he would just like look back up at Nyx briefly and then look back down at the ground and be like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, Z.
Okay. She would try to give him a hug.
He wouldn't fight, but he wouldn't reciprocate. He just stay in the same position.
See, it was strange. Nyx looked like the Bruce we had been that we went to Blackhearth with.
Okay, is that more data that would feed into Z's awesome Arcana check and help her formulate things?
I'm giving you that pretty much. That Arcana check happens after you've talked to each and every party member.
Yes. Okay.
So this is currently your roll of 27.
Okay. So Z is gonna kind of like, okay guys, I have a theory. My theory.
Whoa, hang on. Every time we've talked about what happened has caused some pain.
Well, but I'm talking about things in really broad strokes. Would kids have mentioned anything about the sending to Z as Z is going around asking questions?
Oh, I announced to everybody.
Yeah, Z said that out loud.
Well, yeah, but Z wasn't paying attention to anything then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was being a sad duck.
Gotcha. Roll me a perception check. You notice that Kizriel has a book in her hand and that she is writing. She's you can see her written. She's been writing stuff down. You kind of glance down, and you see like in quotes, big pipes. You kind of see some of the words like help and they want me to do things. Like you kind of glance down as you're like getting information from her, and you see that she's got this communication written down in the book that she's kind of got open.
Did you hear from Pipes?
Yeah, it was. I think it was a sending spell. He was asking for help. I can't help him.
What did he say?
It was like, are you there? They want me to do things I don't even know if I can do them. Help me. Help me.
Did you respond?
Yeah, I said, like, where are you?
Have you gotten another response from him?
No.
Okay, Z is going to sit down and try to send to Pipes.
Fortunately, you've got hit points.
I'm still at full health. I don't know how I'm managing that, but I'm at full health, and I still have all of my 3rd level slots, so one casting of sending isn't gonna like cripple Z.
You have
Yeah, I'm just like,
spell
I
points?
really want to talk about what's been going on, but Bruce isn't looking so great, and it's like every time we talk about it, it hurts him.
Okay.
Maybe in the morning.
Z's gonna be distracted from Bruce by the whole Pipes thing, so she's already like sitting down and casting because this is a real quick thing. Because she's tried casting to Pipes before and it didn't work, or ascending, but if he's actually sending, then maybe he can get a response back. So, do you want me to write it out or say it?
Write it out, please. 25 words. While she's writing that out, I've noticed that
You're gonna need a
Rick's moved over to Jalira, sat down next to her, and put his head on her shoulder.
Amy,
Yeah?
we can hear
Can
you
you mute while
typing.
you type?
Oh, sorry. Let me put headphones back in. Sorry.
Aha, it was her.
Because that's what I had to do to get the audio back earlier.
Oh, wow. You
Oh.
sound way better now.
Yeah, you do.
Sorry. Okay.
It's all good. So, I noticed that Rick said that he moved to sit down next to Cherry and kind of put his head on her shoulder.
Mm.
Guess my sniffles works with the game now.
It does.
Yeah.
She's getting a message back.
Or about to get, 2d6 psychic damage.
Psychically assaulted like the rest of us.
She's got the hit points
I
for
saw
it.
that eyebrow raise, Mike.
See, she's
No, this is good stuff, man. I think it's good stuff. It's interesting. It's sad, but it's interesting.
I'm getting to the point where I don't know how to react because how do people without mental health issues handle this stuff?
Bold of you to assume that Cherry doesn't have mental health issues.
I've tried very hard to figure her out through a life of non-depression.
I have the same problem with Kiz.
No, you're good.
Okay. You guys are fine.
Pipe simply replies, "You scry who dis."
That would be such a cold response. I agree.
Oh man, I love D&D.
Oh man. We're all gonna die, guys.
We're gonna emotionally TPK. That is my theory.
We just keep taking constant psychic damage from random things. We're not gonna last too long.
Can we just
T2D6
least get-
emotional trauma damage?
just
We just
let me get
manifesting in
Guara out of the
character.
Mornland and then just
No, I mean, like, this is I think all of this is super interesting. So
This is just like, as long as Guar survives, I'll be okay. At which point the rest of the party looks at her.
it's like, I don't know, the rest of us we're not gonna be happy if we can't help Pipes. Guara doesn't care, she's never met Pipes.
she would have loved him.
She would have. She probably would not have liked the bagpipes though.
Good thing
the way
Melody
Pipes
ripped those
played
out,
him,
huh?
the way Pipes played him.
Just saying, it's a good thing that Melody ripped him out, huh?
Oh, poor guy.
Sorry.
Yeah, I do have those in my bag, don't I?
Yeah, you do. You have pipes
Yeah.
as pipes.
I'm sure Tongs could help us. And a Warforged cleric, I guess, because it's kind of like a heal. Hey, if we could reattach Kroll's arm, we could reattach Pipes's.
Yeah, but we had a very strong magic user.
Yeah, we just need friends.
Friends.
Anyway.
What is friends?
I don't know. Maybe Mr. T will be our friend.
Gosh, I hope so.
Or he's causing all our problems.
All I know is the headaches becoming real.
I don't know. There's that crazy dragon marked lady in the other room.
She
Maybe
definitely
if we just go and give Mr. T back to her, everything will calm down. Look, we're sorry. You can have him.
have a nice snack. Goodbye.
Well, the wolves wouldn't need it. They would just, I know, you're right. She's been siphoning them life off of them.
I mean, she did apparently possibly have the faintest hint of a smile as Bruce shut the door.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I know.
Z looks very like WTF mate. And she's like, I don't understand.
What do you not understand? Rix kind of picks his head up off of Cherry's shoulder.
Well, Kiz got a very sounds like Pipe wants us to come help him. I followed up, and the person who answered sounded like Pipes but didn't know who I was, and asked if I was one of the defenders of Lyrington, so it sounds like they haven't fallen completely. They have the town, but the tower is still intact. Or at least that is what I got from the sending. It sounded like Pipes, but it didn't. That doesn't mesh at all with the message that Kiz just got.
Did we change? Did time change outside the Moorland? And it's trying to change here?
I mean,
Why would it?
it wasn't that long
That doesn't
ago
make
that
any sense.
Kiz
I
got
can't.
the message, right?
I don't know.
Did they
But-
say it was Pipes? Who did they say they were?
Pipes has a very distinct sounding voice. The
And I would-
metallic-y sound plus the Scottish accent.
So,
I mean-
can sendings be,
Intercepted.
intercepted?
Well, your sending was intercepted on its way to Pipes originally when you cast the spell a while ago.
Okay.
But
So
every feeling you've had with that sending out your sending, it went to where you send it. As far as you know, this is Pipes who's responding to you.
So Z's
Sending-
just really confused and really WTF. It doesn't make any sense that Pipes would send that to Kiz. Would Kiz have any sense to guarantee it was from Pipes and not just somebody who sounded like Pipes in her head?
See?
Would Z trust her sending more than she would trust Kiz's?
I would trust your sending more, only because you've got that connection. I just hear words and a voice.
No, the sending spell actually says that you automatically know who it is from when you receive it.
As far as Kizriel's concerned, she got a message from Pipes. As far as you're concerned, you've sent a message and gotten a response from Pipes.
There's more than one Pipes.
So they're very much in conflict, which makes... But it sounds like the Pipes talking to me was in Lyrenton.
Also, it didn't seem to sound like he knew who you were.
And he didn't know who I was, which is really, really disconcerting.
But not different than what we've already seen with Bruce.
I have a really weird idea.
Bruce,
Do you have another spell slot?
Yeah.
And then even Rix is spontaneously forgetting.
It's just a dumb idea, but if you want to try, can you try sending a message to one of your parents?
Where are
How many spell slots do you have?
It's just if the gem that Bruce touched is changing history, because it did when your uncle guy changed your family from being half elf to half orc, and then what if it's trying to change history from?
It didn't. It took us away
So
from
how
that,
much
though.
does Bruce's head hurt from that, or was that okay?
When it comes to Pipes, Bruce doesn't seem to have any strong reactions.
Just that's the only thing that would make him forget us. So therefore, the history's been changed that far back. But did that stone? Did everything it ever do get under?
I would rather talk about this in the morning. Only because it's been causing us pain. I'm sorry. And Rix and Bruce are looking really rough.
I hate this.
Yeah, me too. I guess we can try that, but I think I agree with Kiz that, like, not at this precise second. We've been running into so much stuff, and I admit that I still have spells I can use, but I would hate to just burn one.
I know, it's a dumb idea.
No,
but
it's not a dumb idea.
If Pipes never met you, that means you guys never left your parents, which means your parents might still be alive. That's where that's thinking. But that would only be in one timeline.
I'm gonna whisper, but like whisper talk, but make sure it's directed away from Bruce. His crew is still docked. Are they still docked out of Rook and Draw?
No, they were off doing other things, and I'm supposed to send for them when we're back somewhere where they can come pick us up. I'm supposed to send to Gimbal, and he'll come find us when it's time.
All right.
Just would the mention of Gimbal mess any of them up at this point?
Any of us?
You say Gimbal, and you start to feel a very familiar, almost painful a painful rush go through your head. But kind of keeping it down, having minimized the amount of talk you've had, you're able to kind of withstand it, but you feel it coming on. You feel if you continue to talk about Bruce's crew, it's going to cause problems.
To Bruce or all of us?
Bruce doesn't have a thing of heat flash through his head, doesn't look to be in pain at this precise second. But remember, you guys are whispering in a corner away from him, or trying to.
Yeah, I think they're
I don't pick it up, do I?
I think we're sticking to this group.
I know, but I have a passive of 17. I don't pick that up, do I?
High or low?
Oh.
Christy.
Hi. It's an important question to ask.
Yeah, okay.
Oh no!
Like you hear like her start to talk. You hear the initial whisper of Gimbal, and you just like immediately like cover your ears and like go to the corner like no, I can't deal with this right now.
Okay, thank you. Oh my gosh.
You're able to like stop.
I would like to
stop and listen.
I would like to not go unconscious before the end of this session.
Because when you're unconscious, you don't get a long rest.
And we can't heal. Yay.
Should we take watches?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, I'll take
I
that.
think they're actually going to be able to sleep right now.
No, Rix, you were sleeping.
Did Bruce hear Z say something about not wasting spell slots? I don't know if he would have caught any of that conversation.
High or low?
Low.
You are so absorbed in
Poking yourself.
what just happened to you that you're like you think you hear it, but you're just like not right now. I can't deal with that right now.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to focus on what's happened. Why is this happening? Like you're not even sure why anything is happening right now. Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to say?
No, I think we're gonna start taking watches for stuff, and Rix is gonna go to sleep, or try to.
I think Rix and Bruce should take one of the last watches. Give
He's-
them plenty of time to get some rest.
and ignore each other. Yes.
Z is not currently like Z's like I'll take first watch. Like I'm awake. I couldn't rest now if I wanted to.
I don't think I'm sleeping for a while.
Rix is curling up and trying to sleep. He is drained.
Wake me up for second watch.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell me where you want me.
What'd you say?
Tell me where you want me.
Take last watch with me, please.
All right.
We don't have to sit close to each other. Just
How's your health? You're fine too.
She's gonna look.
So
down
first
at
watch
the floor
is
again.
Point away from Bloody.
I think
first watch is
Bruce and Zanim are first watch. Am I right? Is that right?
So, Bruce is more just like not able to fall asleep. He's less on watch and more just awake.
Yeah, it's
So
more
what-
Z's on watch.
who's taking next?
I'll take next.
I'll be with Kiss.
Well, unless we want to break it into 4 watches. You take third watch by yourself, I take second watch by myself.
If she takes a watch by herself, she's gonna start nervously carving and not really pay attention.
Okay. Guara will take watch with you.
Okay.
Okay. Establishing your watch pattern. I'm just going to post it here so we have it written down in the chat. Establishing your watch pattern. Zanim starts contemplating what she's learned. Bruce is focused on what's just happened. Everybody else kind of beds down. Where do you all sleep? Are you kind of falling asleep right where you're at?
Right here.
Yeah, Bruce isn't
I'm
moving.
not quite
I'm
that
tired
close to
of
that
moving.
dude.
I'm tired. And I'm not moving.
I also like being near my kitty.
Okay.
Use my bag as a pillow.
Rix, as
Hello.
you kind of begin to drift off into sleep, your hand unconsciously resting on the hilt of the traveler's gift. You find yourself reflecting Zanim's theory about the crystal and that voice inside the crystal that spoke to you, kind of replaying the last minutes of it speaking. And as the voice finishes speaking, the more familiar you are with something, the more you tend to know it. The weight of your sword, the hilt of the dagger, the feel of the cloak behind you that you're curled up in. However, when you've been familiar with something all your life, you tend not to question much about it. You take it as it is. It is something to shift your perspective of it. The voice you've heard all your life, the one that whispered to you in the night, guided you to good and ill. The voice that gave you the sword. You suddenly realize that voice is not a singular voice. It is a mixture, a symphony of voices, perhaps dozens all speaking together, their voices melding into the singular voice like a perfectly sung melody. And this occurs to you right now because the voice in the crystal has always been one of the voices in the symphony of the traveler's voice to you. And that's where we're ending our session tonight, guys.
It's like a collective that includes their uncle.
Call me Legion for we are many. What?
I just want to thank everybody for staying a little bit later. I apologize for running us over our time. And I hope that everybody here who's watching enjoyed, and that everybody who will watch will enjoy as well. And that we will see you all very soon. Look forward to our next session. Thank you very much. Bye.
Yeah.